Going on Kilimanjaro safari.
I'll be the safari driver for today. Now before we get out there, we do have to talk about safety. So please stay seated at all times, keeping your arms, hands, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. There should be absolutely no reason to be standing at any point. I know we want to see those animals, but we have to stay seated. The only time you'll stand is to get off my feet. After a while, we actually thought that the ocean was a fictional creature. They were only officially discovered in about the 90s. Not sure all that much. Instead, they will make a rattling sound with their bill to communicate. By mimicking the same way light and shadow shines through trees. That way, when predators or threats look at our next stop is the Safi River. The river holds a very important resource for animals. That resource is water. So let's see what we can find in that water. I can definitely smell something. There is the hippo down there on our right side. A little hard to see, but we might get to see some more up ahead. The hippopotamus can hold their breath for about 8 minutes at a time, giving them plenty of time to dive down in the water. Now the name hippopotamus actually translates in Latin to water horse. Those guys are excellent swimmers, but they actually tend to walk or run against the bottom of the river. That's the name water horse. On the left, we can start to see some pink-backed pelicans. Like all pelicans, they do have pouch to cool down. On really hot days, they tend to move that pouch around in order to stay nice and cool. Kind of like this. Over here on the left, we can see some Nile crocodiles. Do me a favor, keep an eye on those guys for me as we cross this bridge. Crocodile is about 16 to 20 feet long. That's about how tall a giraffe can get. And when their eggs are almost ready to hatch, those crocodiles are very supportive parents. They tend to roll those eggs around in their mouth, gently using their teeth to encourage them to hatch. It looks a little funny, there it is on the right. But there is a very interesting African folktale to help explain why it looks like that. So, as the creator was making this land, he laid down everything perfectly where he wanted it. And he looked inside his bag of creation and saw that he forgot to put down a tree. So he tried to find a place to put it. But everything was just too perfect. So he threw the tree over his shoulder. It landed upside down with its roots in the air, and now all Leopard trees look like that. A baby zebra can remember their mother's stripe pattern after they're done bonding. They'll remember it for about a year until they go off on their own. If you ever wanted to know if the zebra is black with white stripes or white with black stripes, you can tell by the color of their nose. So those guys have a black nose, that means that they are black with white stripes. In herds of about 1.5 million at a time. And we are going to be catching up to those giraffes. What sound a wildebeest makes. This one is a hard one. They go GNU, GNU, with a spell G and U rectangular pattern. Oh yeah, there is a smaller giraffe with them. I don't believe it's a baby technically anymore. It is about 10 months old, almost a year. 180 pounds. Right now he's still backstage bonding with mom, making sure that he's happy. See a couple more hidden in between the trees. Now a herd of giraffe, when they're all standing still like this, is called a tower. But if they were all migrating on a journey, then they're called a journey. Springbok on the right. Springbok get their name because of the way they spring up into the air. The action of jumping for them is called clocking. Those little jumps will mean certain things in their language. the giraffe do have a form of self-defense. Whenever they feel threatened, they will use those long legs. They stand up. And we're also going to see some Ankole cattle coming up on our right. The horns can get about 3 to 4 feet long all the way across. So putting them together, that is about 6 feet long. Better places to eat. Now had honey to sell. It was quite a win-win situation. However, you can see some elephant tuskers in that red clay. Let's dig up that red clay. Oh yeah, they are on the left. Keep an eye out as we come around this corner. So the reason that it's also known as the tree of life, because of how it stores water and provides it for all the animals around it. You can see a lot of damage on the outside of these trees. That's some greater flamingo. These are the largest as well as the lightest pink. But you can also see some baby flamingos, those little gray puffballs on the island. Some of them do grow up quite fast. They're only born about a couple weeks apart. In about 5 months they will reach full size. But they won't get those big feathers until they even over a shrimp. You can actually see that one, it just learned how to catch some shrimp on its own. So congrats to that little guy. Natural sunscreen, as well as use it as a very fun way to cool down on hot days. We can actually see one white rhino walking away from us on the right. And vegetation. And up ahead we can see some cheetah. Cheetahs are natural sprinters. They should be. We just don't have the best eyesight, so they tend to rely on their snout to sniff around and figure out what's going on around them. And whenever they want to go inside their burrows, they tend to walk backwards, leaving their tusks facing forward for protection. You can really see it. Just make sure we're all staying seated. I know we want to get that perfect photo, but we do have to stay seated the entire time. We have to stay seated, guys. I am talking to you in the back. We have to stay seated. And we have to stay seated. Just like I said, guys, we have to stay seated. Thank you. On the right, we can see that Walt I mentioned earlier, as well as some ostrich eggs on the ground. Those eggs weigh about 3 pounds. I can actually stand on one of those eggs. It is a very large egg. It is a very large bird. It looks like the warden has a couple of his goats out for us to see. These are the Nigerian dwarf goats. There's one that's a little hidden behind this truck, but as we come around, they are under his roof as well. Now Now these guys are very helpful for how small and compact they are. They tend to eat any vegetation that other livestock don't, like twigs and branches and leaves, and they also produce milk. So for how small and compact they are, they're super handy and a great alternative for a lot of farmers, instead of using larger cattle that take up more space and more resources. If you'd like to see some more animals, you still have some time. My favorite and the closest one to us is going to be Gorilla Falls. That is a self-walk exploration trail where you get to walk around and see animals like gorillas, meerkats, naked mole rats, even an underwater perspective of how the hippos dive down. Lots of other cool stuff. That is going to be at the top of the hill on the right side of stroller parking as you exit this valley. So if you have a stroller with you, feel free to bring it in. It is about a 15 to 20 minute walk to see all of these animals, but you can spend as long or as short as you want for now. Our dusk was a little bit earlier than the rest of the park. At about 6:45, that trail will